Okay, yesterday we started with polynomial functions. Okay, it continues. Now we are in module 4, lesson 1, right? Polynomial functions. Today is 6th January and we are on page 230. Okay, now yesterday we took something, we call it power function. Okay, power function, the form of it is f of x or y equal a x to the power n, like 3x power 4, ax power n. We call it power function, and this is one term. When I say y equal 3x power 5, how many terms here? One term. One term. If I make 3x power 5 plus 7, how many terms here? Here 2 terms. Plus minus make the number of the terms, okay? But now the power function has 2 values here. Has a and what? N. A, we will call it leading coefficient, okay? N is the degree, okay? Degree of the power function. Tamam? Now, we have something we call it end behavior. End behavior. The spelling correct, right? Now, what's the end behavior? For example, if we have this function here, this function, curve, right? Now, in the previous chapter or module, we talked about quadratic only, right? Quadratic always power 2, and the graph of it, we call it parabola. We graph it too much, and we know when it's open upward, downward, minimum, maximum, right? For example, this curve here, this is a cubic function, power 3, not power 2. End behavior means as x goes to infinity, the function, what happened for it? Okay, this is, we call it end behavior. As x goes to negative infinity, the function, what happened for it? This is, we call it end behavior. Now for ax power n, we'll talk about the end behavior of ax power n, but with cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, and case 4. The cases are if n is odd and a positive, if n is odd and a negative, if n is even and a positive, if n is even and a negative. We have 4 cases. So let's talk about them. This is, we talked about it yesterday, okay? Now case 1, don't write, it's written in your book in front of you, okay? Everything I wrote till now, it's written here in page 213, everything, okay? But now case 1, we have y equal, we can say y equal or f of x equal. It's the same, okay? Y equal ax power n. If n is even, I will start with the even, and a is positive. Like positive for x power 6. Not only power 2. What I talk about power 2, power 4, power 6, power 8, power 10, any even power, it is the same of power 2. So we are talking about the even degree, okay? If n is even and a positive, the end behavior will be, as x goes to positive infinity, the function y or f of x, if a positive, if you remember, let's talk about power 2 because we know it already. If a positive, the function opens upward, right? So the 2 ended points here, it's going where? Up. So if x goes to positive infinity or negative infinity, the function always where? Up. So here y go to positive infinity, and if x go to negative infinity, also y go where? To positive infinity. This is, we call it end behavior. How we use it? In your question, if the question asks you about what is the end behavior of the following function, y equal 5x power 8. Now this on case 1, right? ال 5 positive اللي هي ال A, وال 8 even. So what's the end behavior? done. كن حافظه. Okay? كن حافظه او انا مش حافظه. انا يعني I'm not memorizing it. I understand it بس. Okay? طيب. Now case 2. Before case 1, case 2, we have domain and range. We said the domain, if you remember, the domain are the values of x which we can substitute in the function. The range, the values of y, the results, right? Now the domain and the range for this kind always what? A positive goes up. The domain always real number, okay? The domain here are with range degree even or real number, also range or real numbers more than or equal 0. Yeah, y more than or equal what? 0. This is the range. A domain all real numbers, y more than or equal 0. Y, let's take example عشان تفهم y, so you can understand the other cases. Okay, y equal, for example, 5x power 4, right? Now x power 4 even, right? Any positive or negative number, if you put on it power even, the answer is what? Positive or negative? Positive always. Means if you have negative 2 power 4, the answer is what? Positive 16. Okay? Means any negative or positive, if it has power even, the answer is positive. Any negative or positive, if it has power odd, depends. Positive power odd, positive. Negative power odd, negative. Like negative 2 power 3, it will be negative 8, right? Done? Because negative times negative, but because times negative. Not only power 3, power 5, power 1, power 7, any odd power. But now here, let's go back here. Why the range? Domain we know. Why the range is y more than or equal to 0 always? Because the 5 is positive, right? And here always what? Even, and even gives always what? Positive values, right? So positive times positive equal positive. Unless you put 0, it will be 0. No, 0. 5, 0, power 4, 0. So here y more than or equal what? You won't find negative here. You won't find negative. Even you put negative value inside x, okay? No, we will see. Yeah, case 2 now, okay? Case 2. Case 2, we have y equal ax power n, right? If a here what? In even, still in the even, right? But a is what? Negative. أول إيش ال end behavior? What's the end? A negative means both down, right? The parabola opens downward, right? So here, what's the end behavior will be? The end behavior is as x دائما positive infinity وايش كمان؟ x negative infinity. يعني x positive negative. لا يعني يا positive infinity يا negative. y اللي بتختلف. Now both down معناته both negative infinity. So here negative infinity and here y also negative infinity. How we read it? As x goes or approaches or whatever to positive infinity, the function goes to negative infinity. As x goes or approach to negative infinity, the function still negative infinity. Got it? طب now الدومين والرينج. الدومين متفقين عليه or real number. Okay? الرينج, let's take small example to understand the range. على الكيس. For example, y equal negative 2x power 4. Put positive number. Put what? هلا الزيرو زيرو خلاص. Put positive number, assume 2. 2 power 4, 16, right? Times negative 2, negative 32. تعطاني negative, right? طيب put negative number. Negative 2 power 4, positive 16. متفقين ان even دائما positive. Multiply negative شو بيعطيك كمان؟ كمان negative. So y less than or equal what? 0 because this is negative. Done? So this is the domain, this is the range. Now we are done with the power even, okay? We are done with the power even with two cases. If A positive, if A negative. Now we have the two cases for the odd, okay? Case 3. Case 3. Y equal ax power n if n odd and A positive. And here I will graph one from them, which is x power 3. X power 3 power odd معروف رسمته. فهمها واحفظها whatever. Like this, x power 3. This is x power 3, okay? X power 2 parabola. X power 3 something like this, okay? طيب, this is x power 3. This on this, يعني this graph on this case, okay? F of x equal x power 3. What's A? 1. Will n odd, will A positive, right? طب this as x goes to negative infinity, the function will write negative infinity. As x goes to positive infinity, the function positive. يعني negative مع negative, positive مع positive مع بعض. Okay? So here the end behavior is as x goes to negative infinity, a function goes to negative infinity. As x goes to positive infinity, a function also no positive infinity. Right? رايح مع الاكس الفانكشن. بروح بوزيتيف بعطيه بوزيتيف، بروح نيجاتيف بعطيه نيجاتيف. اوكي؟ طيب ناو الاند سوري دومين رينج. الدومين دائما مين؟ الرينج. الباور 3 حط له بوزيتيف بعطيك بوزيتيف، حط له نيجاتيف بعطيك نيجاتيف، مش زي الباور 2 او الباور 4. اوكي؟ سو هير الرينج اولسو ايش؟ كمان ار بعطيك كل شيء. دن؟ طيب الان ان اود بس ايه؟ نيجاتيف. اوكي؟ last case 4. Y equal ax for n if n odd but a negative. Done. The end behavior, but let's graph it. In the even, we said if n, in the even, we said if a positive, it's open upward. A negative, open downward. In the odd, no, there is no upward, downward. We have opposite curve. هلا قبل شوي رسمت لك الاكس باور 3 right? It was something like this. Now negative x power 3, something like this. Okay? See the difference? So look here. If x goes to negative infinity, positive infinity. عكسها. If x goes to positive infinity, negative infinity. Got it? عكس هذا. تمام؟ يلا. So the end behavior, I will erase these. Yeah, end behavior as x goes to negative infinity, the function go to positive infinity. As x go to positive infinity, the function go to negative infinity. Okay? How about the domain and range? As I told you, x power 3 gives everything. So here, the domain is R, with range also is R. Done. Everything I wrote here is what? In front of you, no need to write. So let's go to example 1 directly. Example 1, read your mistake. We are on page 214. Read. Wait, f of x equal negative 2x power 3. Wait, before you continue, which case هذه? We have n odd and a is what? Negative, right? Continue. Describe the end behavior. Leading coefficient اللي هي negative 2 والdegree اللي هي 3. Continue and بدنا ال end behavior, domain, range. ال end behavior first. Let's think about it mentally, okay? X power 3 like this, negative x power 3 like this. So it's the opposite, right? See, it is case what? We are on case 4 now. See in your book, case 4. In your book. See case 4. Active, positive infinity. So here, what's the end behavior? First step, they want from me the end behavior, right? Yeah. As x go to positive infinity, y go where? Negative infinity. As x go to negative infinity, y go where? Then state the domain and in the case برضو in front of you on page 13, sorry, they wrote the domain and the range for each case, right? So here the domain is all real number, the range is all real number. Done? فهمنا؟ Because you have a smart teacher. أي شيء easy اعرف ليش. طيب. Now you have spaces here, you can fill it, okay? You have spaces in your book. You can use pencil to fill it, okay? يعني the leading coefficient of x is in this example here. What's the leading coefficient? Here, what's the leading coefficient? مالكو طيب negative 2 اكتب negative 2 ايش في؟ عبي الاشياء عندك بالكتاب. Which is negative, the degree is 3. حط 3. طب because the leading coefficient is negative and the degree is odd, as x goes to negative infinity, y goes to, sorry, here, y goes to positive infinity. عبي. And as x goes to positive infinity, f of x or y goes to negative infinity. عبي. اهدى. Because this is a monomial function, the domain is all real numbers because the leading coefficient is negative and the degree is odd. The range is all real numbers also. Done? Done. Now let's see the check after this example. You can make it in your copybook. Check page 214. Read, Mr. Read. Describe the end behavior. Domain and range of f of x. Y then x for bas. Y equal. You can say y equal. You can say f of x equal f of x. Y equal what? يا اخوي انا بحكي معك. انت اقرا الكويشن. لما اسالك جاوبني. يلا تروحش معي مني. خليك معي. يلا روح. Y equal what? يا اخوان مالك؟ بالك مالك؟ Y equal f of x من نفسها يا ابني. ايوه negative 10 x power 6 right? the check. انا بفكش فيك انت. تعال. Yeah, negative 10 x power 6. What they wanted from us, the end behavior and domain and range. يلا the end behavior first. اول شيء which case هذه؟ No, this is case 2. حافظهم انا. Even a is negative, right? Even a is negative. Imagine the quadratic always. When a is negative in the quadratic, the parabola opens downwards. So whatever x to be positive or negative infinity, the function always down, right? So here, as x go to negative infinity, the function go to negative infinity. As x go to positive infinity, the function go to negative infinity. Both down. Both down. But الدومين والرينج. يلا. الدومين or real number. الرينج y less than or equal what? 0. Done? You can fill it in your book also, or you can copy it in your copy book. Yes. This is the end behavior. Yeah. Memorize. Yeah, أخذناه بالجراف, but here we'll take it for any polynomial. We took it on linear and on quadratic. Here we're taking it on what? On any degree. Got it? No. The function is given p of f equal 3 over 2 f to the power of which case? A is positively 3 over 2. Case 1. Type what the question wants. For p of f, A is how much? And n is, the domain is R, because the domain is R, and because A is positive and n is even, the range is all real numbers more than or equal 0, right? هذا الapplication or how to apply, if you understand the idea, just apply it, right? So let's talk about example 2 directly. Yeah. Example 2. In example 2, the function is given. If you read for water to flow through a garden who's at a certain something for physics, right? Yeah, P of f given. P of f given 2 over 3, 3 over 2, sorry, f to the power of 2. Right? So here, which case? Case 1, A is positive and is even, right? So down for P of f equal 3 over 2 f over 2, they want from you to find A. A is how much? 3 over 2 positive. And n is how much? 2 even. طيب, the domain is, the domain, they want from us the domain. They don't want the end behavior. They want the domain. The domain is all real number. And the range is y more than or equal 0. Or you can say all real numbers which are greater than or equal 0. You can write it. Okay? This is example 2, simply as. Now, what we talk now, these types, see this type or this one, this we call it monomial. Monomial means one term. One term, okay? ركزوا معي شوي الآن. One term monomial. Two terms binomial, bi, okay? Three terms trinomial. More than that, polynomial. اللي هو the title of your lesson, okay? The title of your lesson. طيب, done this example. This example done. Yeah, let's talk about polynomials in general. Look at me. Look at the board. Polynomials. Polynomials are the easiest type of functions in math. The easiest type of functions in math. When you grow up a little bit, you'll take another types of functions, like rational functions, like radical functions, trigonometric functions, سمعت بجيب وجتا, sine or cosine. It's in your calculators, but you want to check your calculator. You have sin, cos, all of this math, okay? You have logarithmic function, log حتلاقيها. You have exponential functions, e power x حتلاقيها برضو. Everything in your calculator here, these are types of functions. C, sin, sine, coc, cosine, tan, tan. Okay? Above it, you have in or ln, len, log, log. And you have exponential. If I search about it here, you will find it. E power x sine. This is type of function. So here, it's not our subject. Now here, polynomials are the easiest type of function that you will take in math. Okay, so it's easy type, just understand it. First idea, we took the monomial, and how about the end behavior? Okay, so now polynomial in general as f of x equal a1 x power n plus a2 x power n minus 1 plus a3 x power n minus 2 until something we call it a naught. A what? Naught. A naught اللي هو C. Remember the quadratic? We have C. صح؟ C اللي هو النمبر. ال A naught هو النمبر. Okay? For example, f of x equal about this one 5x power 3 plus 2x power 2 plus 7x plus 9. Right? The highest degree here is what? 3. Then n3, n minus 1, 2. Then 1 هي degree 1 بس ما بنكتبها اللي هي n minus what 2. Then اللي هي a naught. طيب دائما يعني should be if we have a start power 4 then power 3 power 2 power 1 power 0. No, مش شرط يعني. For example, y equal 9x power 5 plus 2x power 2 plus 1. This is polynomial. I have the highest is how much? 5. Then we should have 4, but we don't have it. Then we should have what? 3, but we don't have it. Then 2, then a naught. A naught yani power 0. Power 0, which is constant. Anything power 0 is what? Constant 1. Okay? Done. This type of polynomial. Now, how we know the leading coefficient? It is the coefficient of the highest degree. What's the highest degree here? This is the coefficient, the leading coefficient. But what's the degree of this function? 3. Yani here, n is how much? The highest degree. And a, because n and a, we need them, right? As we did in the cases. A is how much here? 5, the leading coefficient. Here, n is how much? The degree 5. And a is 9. But how about these? ليش هذول ما بنهتم فيهم؟ احنا مش ما بنهتم فيهم. They are important, but this, for example, if I have $100 million and I give this boy $70 كثير عليه. تمام؟ So I have how much? 100 million. واعطيته واجا الشاب سالني how much you have يا مستر؟ هحكي له 100 مليون واعطيته 70 وزعلان. اقول له معي 100 million, right? So 70 won't affect the 100 million, right? The 70 won't affect what? The 100 million. The 100 million, something like this one. So these, like the $70. Got it? So this which affects the function. هو اللي بيتحكم بالfunction. The highest degree and A. Done? Good. طب let's take example 3. But before example 3, let's read a few informations about it. I will read, just point with me, please. In learn, in learn. See the learn? A polynomial in one variable, x, y, z, should be one variable, is an expression of the form an x power n, an minus 1 x power n minus 1 until a what? A0, which we call it in math a naught, okay? Where an is not 0, an اللي هو leading coefficient ما خدناش انه يكون 0. وإذا 0 فيش degree نحكي عنها. and A naught are real numbers. طبعا كل الاكسبريشن or كل coefficients real numbers should be. Here we will not talk about complex numbers, okay? طب and n ركز لي بn هلا is a non-negative integer. كلمة non-negative integers has a lot of information, okay? Non-negative يعني it can be zero and it can be positive, right? Integer, what's this mean? I know. Integer. طيب ال5 integer? Yes. -2 integer? Yes. ال0 integer? Yes. ال2.1 not integer. ال3 over 4 not integer. Square root of 3 not integer. فهمنا؟ So الانتجر اللي هم whole numbers but positive and negative including the zero. This we call it integers. Here we call it rational or irrational numbers, decimals, fractions, whatever. فهمنا الانتجر؟ Good. Okay. طيب let's go down. Because the terms are written in order from greatest to least degree, this polynomial is written in standard form. I will go back just one page here. Look, here I started with power 5, the highest, then power 2, then power ايش هذه 1 0, right? صح؟ طيب. So I'm starting with 5 and goes down. If power 2 here in place of the power 5 and power 5 here, this is not in a standard form. So how we write it in standard form? The highest, then we go down in arrangement, from highest to least. Okay, from greatest to least. Yeah, degree here حكم. تمام. A polynomial function is a continuous function that can be described by a polynomial equation in one variable. You have learned about constant, linear, quadratic, and cubic functions. A quartic, look, constant يعني power 0, right? Linear power 1. Quadratic power 2 أخذنا. Cubic, quartic مش quadratic. في quadratic power 2, quartic power, quintic power 5. More than 5, we call it a function of polynomial of degree 6, polynomial of degree 7. بطل له اسم. So we have 5 special names. Linear, sorry, constant power 0, linear power 1, quadratic, cubic, quartic, quintic. More than that, name it by its degree. يعني أنا عندي degree 8 شو بحكي؟ A polynomial of degree 8. بصير اسمه بالdegree, okay? طيب. Now, a quartic function is a 4th degree function, power 4. A quinitic function is a 5th degree function. The degree tells you the maximum number of times that the graph of the polynomial function intersects the x-axis. But let's talk about example 3 just before this time finish for the online. Example 3. Degrees and leading coefficients. State the degree and leading coefficients of each polynomial in one variable. If it's not a polynomial in one variable, explain why. Okay, so part A. نعطيني هذا البولينوميال 2x power 4 minus 3x power 3 minus 4x power 2 minus 5x plus 6a. Okay, done. كم الديجري 4 leading coefficient 2. Is this polynomial? No. Why? Everything is okay, but the polynomial should be in one variable. Here, how many variables we have? I have x and mean. This is a different variable. So x and a, 2 different variables. That's why they wrote for you, this is not polynomial function in one variable. There are 2 variables. Same of a, okay? طيب طلع بارت بي now. بارت بي 2x power 3 7x power 3 minus 2. What's the leading coefficient? 7. What's the degree? 3. Do we have other variables? No. Is this polynomial? Yes. طب اطلع على part C quickly. Is this polynomial? No. It has two variables. Part D power 5 power 4 power 3 power 2 power 1 0. Yes. وما في variable كلهم integers. الديجريز n كلهم ايش؟ integers. Okay. So the degree here is 5. What's the leading coefficient? 1. The number which is multiplied with the highest degree. We have x power 5 معناها في leading coefficient 1. Let's go to the check quickly. Select the degree and leading coefficient of. طلع الفانكشن قدامنا 11x power 4. I'm in the check now after this example. 11x power 3 plus 5x power 2 minus 7x plus or minus 6 over x. So 6 over x هذه أخذت exponents into exponents powers. Now when I say 1 over 3 power 5, this I can write it as 3 to the power minus 5. يعني if I turn this up, it will be what? Negative, right? This is, we call it negative exponent. Look here, the x down here power قديش? 1. If you put it up, it will be 6x power negative 1. رفعتها فوق, right? So if we turn the degree from up to down or from down to up, we change its sign, like shifting. But here up down, okay? So this is not polynomial. يعني من الأول. ليش not polynomial? Because x هذه, if I put it up, it will be negative exponent. Got it? Got it? يعني البولينوميال يكون زي part D in the example. See it? Part D in example. هيك مرتب ما فيش فيه لف ودوران. Okay? هذا اسمه polynomial. So in the check, degree is 3, leading coefficient 11, degree is 11, leading coefficient. لحظة. C, this is not polynomial in one variable. لا هو in one variable. كلهم x. But D, this is not polynomial in one variable. The term 6 over x has the variable with an exponent less than 0. شو هو less than 0? If x put it up, it will be 6x power negative. هذا اللي بيحكي عنه. هذا اللي خرب البولينوميال كان. فهمنا البولينوميالز. Good boys, that's all for today. Thank you so much. And after vacation, we will continue. And I just want to select for you some of the homework. Question 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, please. Guys, quickly, the online are down. 219, your homework. Select 1, 2, 3, 4. In 1, 2, 3, 4, about the cases, they want the leading coefficient, the degree, the end behavior, the domain, the range. حط لي إياها. In question 5, the shape of the parabolic reflector inside كذا, the function is given. هي قدام صح؟ شو بده؟ graph the function. نعرف نعمل graph. quadratic, vertex, ها؟ نتذكر شوي, axis of symmetry, and state the domain and the range. من الكيسز تقدر تعرف الدومين, right? Good boys. Select 5. Wait. 6 لا. 7. They wanted from you the leading coefficient. If it's not polynomial in one variable, as in the example and the check. Okay? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? أنا عارف يعني هتشتاقوا للمات, لهيك أعطيتكم شوية فكرة. عشان كل ما اشتقت للمات بحل لك سؤال. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much and see you later.